The following program is an opinion program. The opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of this program are not the opinions of the management, staff, and advertisers of this station. Please direct all criticism, concern, and adulation to the hosts of this program.
Welcome to Alabama Politics This Week. I am Dale Jackson. I'm a radio talk show host. You can hear my shows all over the great state of Alabama from 5 to 9 a.m. on WVNN in Huntsville, from 10 until 11 on Talk 99.5 in Birmingham, and the legendary News Radio 1440 down in Montgomery, and then again at 10 p.m., yes, that's right, 10 p.m. on WVNN in Huntsville. With me, as always, the CEO of 256today.com, Mecca Musick, smart news for smart people, smart enough not to go down to Montgomery and have legislators scream directly in their face. I think I got sick. I think Montgomery.
It was that close?
I think it was that close. There was like spittle on my face. It was fun. We got a lot to talk about today. Wes Allen will be here with us. He is the Secretary of State. He's running for Lieutenant Governor. We'll talk with him about all of that. I got a lot to get into when it comes to school choice. That's what my party shot is about. And right now, let's go ahead and get to it. Let's get to that 2-minute warning. All right, Mecca, this topic is going to come up twice here in this particular show. We talk about DOGE, and we're going to have a conversation about it in the state of Alabama in two separate ways. Let's start on the federal level. This week, it was expected, according to the Daily Mail, that the Rocket City would be shut down and spiraling into the abyss. That is exactly what the headline said, and it was wild. It did not happen. It appears, at least for the short term, maybe for the long term, I think for the long term, that we're not going to be dealing with much. We talked about this a little last week, Mecca. Were you surprised to see that the Rocket City, as of right now, dodged or doged a bullet?
I think that the impacts, like many of these executive orders, a lot of these actions we've been seeing in the last few weeks, it's going to take a little while longer to see the actual impact. But I would agree with you. The Rocket City is still standing, as it were. The headline might have been a little premature on their part.
They also like to do this thing where every cut is a murder. I mean, like, that's basically it. Every job was something that was astronomically important in every possible way, and then we kind of try to focus and frame it that way. But the problem here is you got to show people that. It's why during one of the shutdowns a couple of years ago, they had park rangers as essential employees stopping World War II veterans from walking into an open air monument because, hey, you got to feel pain in order for this to be a thing. So I think that's kind of it. Now, to the individual employees, I'm very sympathetic. I don't like the probationary thing. Again, we talked about this last week. Not a big fan of like.
They definitely got the short end of the stick on this.
Anyone who's fired for that reason. But you know what? We've both worked in the private sector. We both work in the private sector. We've seen what happens when there are cuts, and it's indiscriminate sometimes.
It can be brutal, but also let's not forget this is Huntsville, and there are contracts, and so this is not a new world. So imagine when a contract gets cut, or this one and this one, and the employees shift, you pivot, you move.
Yeah, but federal government employees have these extra protections.
They do.
Yeah, contractors, they're a little different. And look, there's been some layoffs at Boeing and stuff like that in North Alabama. But look, economic engine, very true, 100%. The concern about UAB is still very real and all this other stuff. I think it's a little overblown, and I think that's what we're probably going to learn, that all these cuts that we're hearing about, I think some will happen, some will be clawed back, as they kind of maneuver and see how this works. But as of right now, the bloodbath, not quite there yet. But by the way, we're allowed to say bloodbath again. So it's good. It's good to know.
Great. Right. I love that word so much.
Yeah, so we're on.
I use it all the time.
When Trump said that there was going to be a bloodbath in the auto industry, they were like, how dare he say such things? And now we're back to being allowed to say it. So good for us. All right, let's move on. Becca, I'm very confused about this. I love guns. I'm just going to be honest with you. I have gun safes. I have the biometric locks in the house. I love it. But I'm all about being safe. Recently in North Alabama, there was a school where a student brought a gun loaded to a classroom, and then it went off inside the book bag, which of course is not what happened. The kid was probably rifling around in the bag and pulled the trigger, or something along those lines happened. Luckily, it hit a laptop. Nobody injured. None of this stuff happened. This isn't the reason why this bill was proposed, but a bill was proposed that said basically, if you don't lock up your gun and your gun ends up in school, you're going to be punished for it. It didn't get out of committee. I do not understand why. This is not an anti-Second Amendment thing.
Right.
If you have a kid and your gun is not locked up, you should be held responsible. And the idea that some of the people in this committee said, well, it's about, you don't understand joint custody and divorce and all this stuff. I'm like, are you out of your mind? Oh, I was going to secure my gun, but I got divorced. I mean, did you not do it because you're sad? What is happening here? Sometimes the pro-Second Amendment people are so pro-Second Amendment they can't see throughout anything else. And I think that's what happened here. What happened here?
Well, also, this was a bill introduced by Democrat Barbara Drummond. She framed it as pro-child, pro-school.
Exactly true.
Not an attack on the Second Amendment or your rights, just be safe, which is the common sense we talk about a lot, that, there should be common sense. And I think that goes both ways.
Yeah.
We talked about a lot of that. I think that was the main problem. It was a Democrat bill, and it could be framed, obviously.
Find a Republican. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying just find a Republican. This idea, if you're doing this, you're a bad gue owner. Okay, if your kid gets their hand on your gun, you're a bad gun owner, and you should be held responsible.
Right.
This is not the first time this happened. Another time this happened, I think it was another second grader. They had to basically find who had the gun and figure out how to charge him with something else, and because he was a felon who shouldn't have had the gun. They weren't able to. They need to change this law.
Well, really quick, though, let me add this, too. There were some criticisms that the law, it wasn't clear enough. It wasn't clear enough, like who would be charged. It clarified, maybe clean it up. I think it will come back.
Good. I hope you're right about that. All right. Moving on. I told you we'd talk about this twice. DOGE, Alabama DOGE, AL DOGE, Al DOGE. I don't know what we're calling this thing, but I don't like the framing of it. But State Senator Chris Elliott has been talking about this week on our friend Jeff Poor's radio show. The Alabama Policy Institute, they were talking about this as well. They're seeing what's happening in Washington, D.C. They're seeing how Elon Musk and his team are going into different agencies and stealing your credit cards and all, or your credit card information and whatever, social security numbers. But their goal is to actually root out waste, and all this other stuff is just fluff to be mad about. All that stuff's taking place, and people are concerned. Fine. But in Alabama, they're looking at it and going, yeah, give me some of that. And they want some of that here in the state of Alabama. They want to look at government inefficiency across the board. And I think that's a great idea. And I'm glad to see that they're taking this up. What will be the long-term impact of both of these things? Does the DOGE thing exist for 4 straight years? Do all states take this thing up, and what are they going to find in Alabama?
Well, those are a lot of questions, Dale.
Yeah.
But I will add that it is a very smart political move to jump on this. I think it is popular. I think it generates a lot of headlines. And, mostly like, oh, look at this. And you want to be associated with that. You want to be in Alabama. If you could, harness this, and I'm not saying it's not being completely cynical. I'm not saying there's not good intentions on it. But that's a very smart political move. Like, hey, we want to clean up Alabama. We want to clean up, corruption and waste and things like that. So I think it's very smart. And I think it does go somewhere here.
Yeah, the whole thing about fraud, waste, and abuse, like there's this framing of like, oh, the employees are being evil, and how dare you say they're being evil? It's like, no. Waste is in there as well. Waste is just a mistake or something that's not a good use of money. You can find that too, but you want to find all the other stuff too. And that's very important. And one of the things that I find interesting about this is the people who are against it are really being foolish with how they're handling it. He's a South African. He's not appointed anywhere. Look what he's doing.
He's a foreigner.
Yeah, you send him back, deport Elon Musk. I'm like, come on, guys. My mom gave her social security number to some other African, and it was fine. So what's the problem here? So we don't have these things to worry about. But this is one of the things where Republicans are being really smart here.
Yes.
They stake out these positions that are wildly popular, and Democrats reflexively go, I guess I'm against going for waste, fraud, and abuse. It just doesn't make any sense.
It is. That's what I'm saying. Like all the things that they're going after, those are the great causes. I understand that, but really smart politically to jump on that right now.
I agree. All right, let's talk about Ukraine here for just a quick second. Listen, Donald Trump made it very clear when he ran for office where he stood on Ukraine, and it was he'd like this to stop. That's basically it. And I'm going to use an example here, Mecca. Have you ever seen The Fugitive? The movie? Okay, spoiler alerts coming here. Okay. Do you remember the scene in The Fugitive before Harrison Ford, Dr. Kimball, jumps off I think it's a hydroelectric dam into the thing?
I don't care.
Okay. Yes. In there, Harrison Ford turns to Tommy Lee Jones and goes, I didn't kill my wife. And Tommy Lee Jones has his hands up and he's got a gun on him and he goes, I don't care. That's where Donald Trump is right now. He doesn't care how this thing ends.
Right.
He just wants it over. And people are screaming, I didn't start the war. It was Putin. He goes, I don't care.
Right.
And Europe is saying, but. And he's go, maybe you're not listening. let me make this as clear as I possibly can. I said I'm going to end the war in Ukraine, and I'm going to end the war in Ukraine, and I don't care how it happens. That's it. Now, you could say that's wrong and all this other stuff. He said, we're turning off the money and we're ending it. And all the Republicans said, but, and he goes, sorry, I don't care. And that's where we are here. So what's next?
I think that was a pretty good assessment. And
you're caught off guard too, which I love.
No, I love that. I like the movie, all that. That's fantastic. I think something that people are not taking into account in these conversations is a lot of what Trump says, even the most outlandish things, obviously.
Bluster.
Have a purpose. It's part of his negotiations. We've talked about this numerous times on the show, the art of the deal. A lot of this is how Trump gets things done. As to what will be the final product, honestly, I don't know. Obviously, it seems like Ukraine will lose some territory to Russia, and it seems like NATO is completely off the table. But again, we're not going to know until it's done.
Yep. Yeah, and to that, a lot of people say, well, you're going to give Putin can't get out of Kiev. He's not going to Paris. All right, let's stop with this idea that he's on the march. The biggest threat to global security is that Putin deploy a nuclear weapon, because the world changes for every single human being on the planet the minute that happens. So that is the biggest threat, and it's about mitigating that. And you know what? Sometimes, in order to mitigate stuff, you have to eat a little something you don't want to eat, and you just do that. So when they say, but you're giving in to Putin, Trump says, I don't care. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. And I think he's going to end it that way, and that reason will be why. When we come back, something I will care about. Wes Allen will be with us. He's the Secretary of State. He's running for Lieutenant Governor already. Yeah, he is. Okay, when we come back, we'll talk about that on Alabama Politics this week.
Fox 54 Plus is your streaming home for news from the world of sports. Join the Fox 54 sports team for local highlights and insights. Stream Fox 54 Sports Extra anytime on Fox 54 Plus. Live, local, and always on.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for University Kia. This is my son Grant. He's a busy guy. Chess, piano, basketball, wrestling, baseball, you name it. There's probably some stuff that I missed that my wife will be mad about, but here's the thing. It's important to have reliable transportation. And my friends at University Kia, they take great care of me. I've been driving Sportages my entire life. My wife drives a Telluride now, and it is the perfect vehicle for the busy family. Folks, University Kia, let them take care of you like they've taken care of my family. That's University Kia. Learn more at universitykia.com.
Tom, Grant, and Dale Jackson sent you.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improve range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.
Here's an important message from the U.S. Med Diabetes Solution Center. If you have diabetes, you know the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce your pain right away. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. Call the U.S. Med Diabetes Solution Center to learn about this groundbreaking new CGM technology. If you have Medicare or private insurance, call to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. U.S. Med is the #1 rated supplier on Google and Facebook reviews. So call us right now to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. U.S. Med. Better service. Better care. What if this happened to you when you're alone? Or what if it happened here? With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new Care Watch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The Care Watch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. The Care Watch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. Don't wait. Call us to get your Care Watch right now. Operators are standing by.
Get Fox 54 Plus everywhere you stream. Watch local newscasts live or on your schedule, plus exclusive specials like Weekend Review, a recap of the week's top stories. Fox 54 Plus, live, local, and always on.
Welcome back to Alabama Politics This Week. I'm Dale Jackson. With me, as always, Mecca Musick. And our guest this week, the Secretary of State, Wes Allen.
Thank you so much for being here today. Now, not only Secretary of State, former state representative, former probate county judge, and also you had a big announcement this week. Tell us about that and what led you to this decision.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate it, guys. Yeah, big decision. We prayed about it a lot as a family, Kay and I and the kids, and it's a family decision. And as you know, Lieutenant Governor's seat is very important. It'll be open, but we need committed Christian conservatives with a track record of accomplishments like I've had in the probate office as state representative and now as Secretary of State. And I'm just humbled to be in this position to be able to ask the people of Alabama for their vote and to put their trust in me to lead in the Lieutenant Governor's seat.
Sorry, can I ask you a question about what type of Lieutenant Governor would you want to be? Would you want to be a Will Ainsworth Lieutenant Governor who is super aggressive and he's out there on everything? Or Kay Ivey, when she was Lieutenant Governor, she was kind of just behind the scenes. And then one day she woke up and she's like, wait, I'm governor now? That's pretty much how this thing went down. Which model do you think is right for you?
Well, if you look back at my career in public service, I think that kind of tells the tale of, how I'll lead. I take tough stances on many issues. One is VCAP, protecting minors with puberty-blocking drugs and the cross-sex hormones and the surgeries for our minors. So I think that, if I'm fortunate enough to get elected to this office, I'm going to make sure that I'm out front on a lot of different issues.
As far as Secretary of State and your term there, one of the big moves was from the ERIC system. Mm-hmm. It generated a lot of headlines. Is this voter suppression? Talk about that move and why you believe it was the right one for Alabama.
Yeah, so ERIC was basically a data mining operation by a left-wing organization that was out of state. We had no opportunity to audit that group. I visited their home office that was listed on their website, and there was nobody there. So on the campaign trail, I promised the people, first day in office, this is what we're going to do. We withdrew Alabama from that, and then we wanted to set a course for Alabama to be aggressive, to make sure voter file maintenance was front of mind. We work hard on it each and every day we are in the office, because voter file maintenance, taking care of your voter file throughout the state, is election integrity. It's the foundation of where it all starts, because if you don't have a clean, accurate voter file, it'll get off in a ditch in a hurry. And so we recognize that, and with our partners as probate judges, circuit clerks, sheriffs, boards of registrars, and they've done a tremendous job. And if it were not for those local officials, there would be no elections in Alabama. But voter file maintenance is top of mind. We come in every day. What are we doing? How are we doing it? How are we accomplishing it? So we're very, very confident in what we've been able to accomplish.
Do you run into resistance across the state when you're trying to clean up those voter rolls? I mean, there's always been sort of this push that the idea that cleaning up the voter rolls itself is somehow voter suppression, which makes no sense. But there is that argument. Do you run into that across the state?
Not particularly in the state, from the federal government.
Okay.
The NVRA that was passed in 1993 needs to be reformed or abolished. We need help from getting data from DHS, from legal, getting the list of legal non-citizens. We need, Social Security death index. The red tape we had to jump through to get that master file of the death index that keeps a running total of everyone that's passed away, because if someone from Alabama travels to Utah and they pass away, that's not Alabama's data. That's Utah's data. And so we've got to go find other ways to get that, to compare it to our list and get those individuals that may be deceased off our voter file. And so really it's the federal government that presents the most challenges.
Okay. As you're getting ready to run for lieutenant governor, there's going to be a lot happening. You're going to be out there. The question that a lot of people ask me is, why are you running now when you could run for a second term? You could run for a second term as Secretary of State. Why would you now jump off and do this?
Well, because the Secretary's office is mid-cycle of when the governor and lieutenant governor's cycle is they're coming out of office, and so
they're term limited.
Now in 26, as where I'm not in the Secretary's office. But if I were to run for re-election in 26 for secretaries, in 2030, there'd be kind of no logical step where to go. So we feel like, hey, we've got a good record. We want to go out and tell people about it, and we've got a great team in the Secretary's office. So we're very proud of what we've been able to accomplish.
Now, the legislative session is underway right now. Obviously, as a former state representative, you've been following that. What issues are you seeing that you believe would make the most impact in Alabama?
Overall? Okay. Oh, wow. There are lots of big issues. I listen to Dale's podcast from time to time, and I know he has a lot of the legislators on.
I do.
You do, and you have good discussions with them. I think we've got to make sure in Alabama we've got good, balanced budgets. Don't overspend. We've got to make sure that you were talking about DOGE a few minutes ago. When I was in the legislature, one of the bills that I sponsored, although I didn't have the bandwidth to run the bill that I wanted to cut red tape because I was passing VCAP at the time, but I think we've really got to cut the red tape. And we've been able to do that in the Secretary of State's office. For instance, let me just say this. We were able to cut red tape. There shouldn't be, for small business, having to file some piece of paper and a fee. So we cut that out. And so we cut fees and we cut red tape. And so I think that's one thing that we really need to focus on.
Last question, we're sort of out of time here, but let me ask you this.
Yeah.
DOGE says, I want to come into your office, take a look at it. They put me in charge of it. I come to your office and they say,
sounds like a nightmare.
I want to come in there and take a look. I wouldn't know what to do, but you okay with that?
Sure.
Okay, there you go. You heard it. Secretary of State's office open. Everyone go look. All right, thank you very much. Wes.
Thanks, guys.
He's Secretary of State running for Lieutenant Governor. We appreciate him coming here. Mecca is leaving. The show's going to get a lot better, so stay tuned. It's Alabama Politics this week.
Get Fox 54 Plus everywhere you stream. Watch local newscasts live or on your schedule, plus exclusive specials like Weekend Review, a recap of the week's top stories. Fox 54 Plus, live, local, and always on.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for University Kia, and this is my son Grant. He's a busy guy. Chess, piano, basketball, wrestling, baseball, you name it. There's probably some stuff that I missed that my wife will be mad about, but here's the thing. It's important to have reliable transportation. And my friends at University Kia, they take great care of me. I've been driving Sportages my entire life. My wife drives a Telluride now, and it is the perfect vehicle for the busy family. Folks, University Kia, let them take care of you like they've taken care of my family. That's University Kia. Learn more at universitykia.com.
Tom Grant and Dale Jackson sent you.
What if you could make a free phone call and reduce your car payment by as much as $83 a month? Right now, you could be paying as high as 20% interest. Your new interest rate could be reduced to as low as 2.48%. You can refinance any existing car loan or leased car and save money every month. Take 5 minutes of your time right now. Make this free phone call and learn how to save hundreds of dollars a year by refinancing your existing car loan.
Attention! This is a public notice from the Social Security Disability Helpline. If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right. If you suffer from physical or mental disability, whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, we can help. We'll evaluate your situation and deal with Social Security on your behalf. Best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. Remember, we only get paid if you win your case. There are many reasons and conditions that may make you eligible for disability benefits. Many of them you may not be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call now to get started with your free, no-obligation consultation.
Call 877-744-0750. That's 877-744-0750. 877-744-0750.
Here's an important message from the U.S. Med Diabetes Solution Center. If you have diabetes, you know the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce your pain right away. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. Call the U.S. Med Diabetes Solution Center to learn about this groundbreaking new CGM technology. If you have Medicare or private insurance, call to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. U.S. Med is the #1 rated supplier on Google and Facebook reviews. So call us right now to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. U.S. Med. Better service. Better care.
Fox 54 Plus is your streaming home for news from the world of sports. Join the Fox 54 sports team for local highlights and insights. Stream Fox 54 Sports Extra anytime on Fox 54 Plus. Live, local, and always on.
Welcome back to Alabama Politics. This week, I am Dale Jackson. We'll get to the party shot in just a second. We're going to talk about school choice and one of the best advocates for it, Andrea Alvarez, a school board member from Huntsville who is just awful. So stay tuned for that. Before we get to that, head on over to yellowhammernews.com. Sign up for my email blast, the 7 things you should be talking about today, and you'll know everything that's going on in the great state of Alabama every single day. yellowhammernews.com. All right, let's go ahead and get to that parting shot. My parting shot this week is directed at Andrea Alvarez, like I said, a school board member for the city of Huntsville. Just stop. Get off the internet. Stop talking. Do your job. A lot of people have said the same thing to me, but the advice is for you as well. This week, she went on the internet and suggested that if you use school choice, you need to look into the eyes of every child that goes to the school your kid's going to leave and tell them why your kid deserves more. So I made the offer to do that. I will gladly go to every kid in the city of Huntsville and do this to them, but she did not respond to that. So I'm going to do it right here. So here, I will look you right in the eye and say, Timmy, listen, school's not good enough for my kid, and I don't think it's good enough for you either. That's why I support school choice, to give your parents the opportunity to try to get you into a better opportunity. Your school board member, Andrea Alvarez, has failed you significantly, and as long as she is elected, she will continue to fail you. So you should get every opportunity you could possibly get to get out of this school system. That's what I would tell them. So please set that up, Andrea Alvarez. I'd be more than happy to do it. And thank you for being an advocate for school choice, because you're doing a terrible job. All right, everyone, thank you very much for being here.
You work hard to earn little escapes, because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay, and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for University Kia. This is my son Grant. He's a busy guy. Chess, piano, basketball, wrestling, baseball, you name it. There's probably some stuff that I missed that my wife will be mad about, but here's the thing. It's important to have reliable transportation. And my friends at University Kia, they take great care of me. I've been driving Sportages my entire life. My wife drives a Telluride now, and it is the perfect vehicle for the busy family. Folks, University Kia, let them take care of you like they've taken care of my family. That's University Kia. Learn more at universitykia.com.
Tom Grant and Dale Jackson sent you.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improve range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.